What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Mo Reacts, and we are back at it with another documentary, man. We got a Funny Mike documentary. If you guys don't know what Funny Mike is, he's been doing YouTube for a minute. In my opinion, one of my favorite YouTubers of like this whole shit because he really came out the gutter. He changed his life, and he's making a lot of money now. You feel me?
Top 5 black YouTuber all time.
100%, bro. And he's showing it to this day. You feel me? Translating to streaming. But the video is titled "How Funny Mike Went from Killing People to a Community." God, that's a comedian. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let's get it.
Huh?
Killing people.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got a
hat.
Yeah. Okay.
They really thought Funny Mike was pussy.
From catching a body and facing a murder charge to becoming a family-friendly YouTuber,
it was locked in before Young was big.
Funny Mike's story is one of the wildest
Funny Mike with
the
the
internet's
Sony
ever
faces,
seen.
bro. Like, look at his hair back then.
The challenges and the family skits.
Bro, remember?
He was
remember when his vlogs used to do like $1 million a day? Like
$1
million a day. Every vlog he did was $1 million.
I was
bro.
watching the bitches too.
That nigga used to go crazy.
Until he took, I think he took like a little
big break,
one
like
time,
a huge break.
and
I
then
stopped
just,
too.
Man,
Oh God. And then all the new bad kids came,
Before
like they
the
was little
pranks,
kids. I
the
started
challenges,
watching.
And the family skits. He was MacArthur Johnson, a kid from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. A city where you better keep that thing on you or you might end up a pack. But how does someone go from facing life in prison to building one of the biggest kids-friendly YouTube channels? And is the past really behind him or is it still waiting to catch up? MacArthur Johnson, born October 8th, 1996, grew up in the trenches of Baton Rouge.
He's good though, cause like the reason why he at where he at right now is cause like he stayed genuine and humble through
100%.
everything. You feel me? Like he not one of them cocky ass niggas, and you feel
Bro,
me?
he show love to everybody.
He keep it genuine.
And I feel like the reason why niggas fall out with him is because, bro, he push niggas. He wants you to go hard. Because Funny might help a lot of niggas, bro. If you watch his music videos back then, he was literally helping everybody, bro.
Okay.
But now everybody wants to like be mad when he say no. Fuck no. Nigga, he put your position to have all these followers, these subscribers. Now do you?
Facts.
MacArthur Johnson, born October 8th, 1996, grew up in the trenches of Baton Rouge. In his own words, growing up in Baton Rouge meant that
growing up in Baton Rouge, man, you don't do something
22 Savage.
that's not in the street wise.
That's what he's 22 Savage.
In jail.
Like when he got his interviews because of him being
shaped
22
pushing
Savage.
him toward the
When
trap
he dissed
life
that, when
as
he
a
dissed
young
21
hustler,
Savage.
just trying to make it out. Johnson had his fair share of run-ins with the law as a young bull. He caught some cases and spent time in juvie for throwing hands and other charges he's been reluctant to speak on. In his Vlad TV interview, he mentioned that he would always burn it out, meaning he'd beat those cases quick and never had to do a long bid.
Like, how much time do you think you spent in juvenile altogether?
Oh, juvenile, I ain't spent that long in juvenile. I had burned it out.
Like many young men looking
So
for a way out
different
of
now,
their
like, that's
circumstances,
crazy.
Johnson turned to music. Baton Rouge has a rich hip-hop history, with artists like Boosie being major influences on the youth there. In fact, Johnson has stated that Boosie was his biggest influence growing up, saying
And
he
it
was
was on
listening to
FaceTime.
Boosie before Kevin Gates. Before finding success, Johnson went through a series of different personas and names, trying to find what would stick. He went by Lit Mac on the track, Lit Guno, Mighty Mike, and Girl He Funny at different points.
So, what was the first name?
My first name was Lil Mac.
Lil Mac.
On the track. Lil Mac on the track.
Lil Mac on the track.
Yeah, see, that
So,
was my
you a
first.
pimp?
Shit, slap them hoes down, for real.
Hey, Jalea see this, she was like, what the
But
fuck?
yeah, but that was one of my rap names.
Initially, he tried to make it as a rapper, but when that wasn't taking off, he pivoted to comedy on social media platforms like Vine and Instagram. His
Crackhead
relatable
something, I forgot what it
comedy
was.
about family dynamics and childhood experiences started getting traction.
They
Johnson
knew it from
explained
day
that
one,
he
bro.
started that after rapping wasn't taking off, seeing comedy as another potential path to success.
After rapping wasn't taking off for me, you know what I'm saying? I started then to try to see what can I, you know,
I think they
get
were
out of it,
crackhead
you know
bodies,
what I'm saying?
low-key.
But then shit just started going up, you know what I'm saying?
So you get in the Instagram comedian thing, right? And one situation took off, you know, on the Instagram.
This hustle and willingness to adapt would eventually pay off, but not before a major controversy and legal trouble that nearly derailed everything. In 2016, when Atlanta rapper 21 Savage was gaining popularity, Johnson made a strategic move that would change his trajectory. During a freestyle, he dropped the line, "This ain't 21, this 22," and people caught on. Seeing the reaction, he decided to adopt the persona of 22 Savage, a clear parody of 21 Savage.
Yeah, it was just a freestyle with the woo.
Now, how did the freestyle go?
You know, I was like, this ain't 21, this 22, yeah, woo. You know, and then everybody just fuck with it.
Johnson released a song called Jumpin' as 22 Savage, which quickly gained traction. The audio alone was racking up
smart
thousands of
marketing.
plays
He
within
did
hours.
it on
And when he
purpose, like
dropped the
DDG with,
video,
Lil
it
Yachty.
exploded, reaching millions of views.
When you put out Jumpin', you put out his audio first.
Yeah, it did numbers like overnight. Like it was doing numbers like the first hour it did 5,000. How you do the week? Shit, like 50,000. So I'm knowing it's doing something. So that's why I was like,
I remember I found out about that shit out of nowhere. I just saw that
video. It just popped off.
The 22nd Savage character wasn't just a name. Johnson adopted a similar look and flow to 21 Savage, stretching his words in a similar cadence. When asked if this was intentional, Johnson kept it a buck and admitted, yeah, that was done on purpose. Just trying to fuck with him. He was straight trolling.
Did you think that anything was really gonna pop off, or this was just another like?
Nah, well, really, I didn't really think it was gonna be big as what it is, but I know it was just gonna do.
Bro, it's like a different person to me. I don't know if you like I don't think this is him, bro. Like he's changed so much, bro.
Savage a little bit.
Man, that's what they say.
It's crazy.
The music industry and internet
for real.
took notice.
He's a crash out
Blog
back
posts
then.
started appearing about this 22 Savage character, and the controversy only fueled Johnson's growing fame. Many compared him to other artists who had found success through controversial imitation, like Young Thug with his Barter 6, playing off Lil Wayne's Carter series. What started as a parody soon escalated into a real beef. 21 Savage responded during a performance saying,
Ain't no 22, ain't no 23.
Yeah, that shit really got to him though.
acknowledging the copycat without directly
Yeah,
addressing
Arsenal
him.
jersey, that's Arsenal, right?
And said, ain't no 22,
Yeah.
ain't no 23.
He did rocking that shit. That's
I
great.
saw that.
What'd you think?
Ain't no 21. It's 22, you know.
Johnson took this as a
Niggas
challenge.
arguing
In
over
interviews,
numbers.
he claimed that if 21 Savage had just ignored me, eventually it would have just faded away. Instead, the back and forth intensified.
Because all you really had to do is just ignore you.
Right.
Actually,
Just
it would have just
ignore
kind of
me,
faded away.
Everything would have faded away. But,
Right.
you know, he's got, he got no sense of,
The situation escalated when Johnson challenged 21 Savage to a boxing match, saying if 21 won, he would change his name. Even 50 Cent got involved, contacting Johnson
this nigga's such
about
a
putting the fight on the
troll.
undercard of a Mayweather boxing event. According to Johnson, they were going to put up 100 bands each for the fight, but 21 Savage declined, saying, I don't box, I got them choppers.
Don't talk about out here boxing, man. We walk around with choppers and shit, man. We ain't boxing no motherfucker.
But Funny Mike, aka 22 Savage, responded and said he must have thought they stopped making choppers when they made his, hinting that he were the shits and is ready to shoot as well.
21 Savage said that he don't box, he got them choppers.
Yeah.
How'd you feel when you heard that?
When he said that,
Yeah.
I said, oh man, he must thought they stopped making choppers when they made his shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't stop making choppers, dick. Anybody can get a
He
chopper.
been saying the dick
You know
shit.
what I'm saying?
Oh my
The beef
god.
took an even darker turn when 21
Bro,
Squad
Funny
began
Mike is
posting
funny.
threatening messages, including tombstone emojis over Johnson's pictures. This led to threats and declarations that ATL,
Them niggas kinda
21
looking like when they had
Savage
that low
City,
cut.
and BR, Johnson City, were now no-fly zones for each other, meaning if either one pulled up to the other's hood, it was on site. The internet beef was turning into some real street shit.
You know, that would really escalated the shit again, you hear me? Because that's when one of his homeboys, I don't know who he was, he put the little tombstones over my pictures, whoop the whoop, then no plug. He got the comment, he say something, so I added him. I say pull up. You know, that's when the whole city, you know, what up, pull up, you know what I'm saying?
You said that, what, Baton Rouge is a no-fly zone for them now?
Shit, it is a no-fly zone.
But while the internet beef was heating up, the streets had a different kind of smoke waiting. Before long, Funny Mike wasn't just playing Savage on records. He caught a real body in broad daylight. Amid the rise of the 22 Savage persona and the beef with 21 Savage, something far more serious occurred. On May 3rd, 2016, MacArthur Johnson was involved in a shooting that left 20-year-old Richard Phillips dead in the parking lot of a Baker Boulevard grocery store in Louisiana.
Good afternoon, I'm Cheryl Mercedes.
And I'm Greg Merriweather. A fight over a flyer for a birthday party has left one man dead and another charged with his murder.
The killing happened at a Baker convenience store, and this afternoon, Police Chief Mike Knapp's announced a total of 3 arrests in this case. But the suspected shooter insists he did nothing wrong.
You didn't fire a gun?
God damn. So I thought this bitch was unskippable.
Gun?
Self-defense, self-defense.
So you did fire a gun.
Defense, self-defense.
19-year-old MacArthur Johnson, police say, turned himself in on Wednesday morning after hearing he was wanted in a shooting
So he's
overnight
saying
at the Baker
self-defense.
Boulevard grocery store.
According to police reports, the shooting stemmed from a dispute over
Yeah.
a birthday party flyer that had occurred 7 weeks earlier.
Yeah, them
On the
niggas was
night
right
of the
next to each other.
shooting, Johnson was in a car with Charmaine Wilson when they encountered Phillips, who was distributing flyers in the parking lot. Phillips was passing out party flyers in the parking lot, and he and Funny Mike were arguing over the flyers. After a brief conversation, Phillips and his companion, Walter Williams Jr., slid off at first, but Phillips doubled back and pressed Funny Mike a second time. Mike set Phillips up to strap on him, so Mike fired first, hitting him dead in the chest, claiming it was self-defense.
Self-defense.
So you did fire a gun?
Self-defense.
19-year-old MacArthur Johnson, police say, turned himself in on Wednesday morning after hearing he was wanted in a shooting overnight at the Baker Boulevard grocery store. Richard Phillips, known as Rah-Rah, also 19, died after being shot in the chest.
But here's the thing. Nobody ever confirmed if Phillips even had a pole on him, and whether it was real self-defense or
Whoever
not
is
is still
direct,
really
this gotta
shaky.
be like
Phillips
AI,
ended
like
up
typing.
dying from the shot. Later that day, Funny Mike got booked along with 2 other dudes that were riding with him. They charged him with second-degree murder, illegal use of a weapon, and obstruction of justice. Mike admitted he squeezed the trigger, but tried to play the self-defense card. Problem is, the cops had video footage, and it didn't match his story. A report said they tried to lie and claim Phillips was strapped, but one of the passengers folded when the feds showed him the surveillance footage, and the footage showed Phillips didn't have no gun. Funny Mike's bond got set at $370,000, but he had the bread and bonded out quick, at least for the moment. In interviews after the shooting, Johnson seemed ice cold about the serious charges hanging over his head. When asked how he felt with a murder case pending, he responded, "I don't feel no type of way. I don't think about it, just fuck it." This showed how desensitized he was to the streets. Man was facing decades, but acting like it wasn't nothing but a thing.
What? How I feel?
Yeah, with something like that hanging over your head.
I don't feel no type of way. Because, you know, if you was in my shoes, you in the situation, you would probably did the same thing, you know, so.
Not about the situation, but about the court case that's coming up or the plea deal that's coming up or whatever is coming up in your future. Because one way or another, something's going to have to happen. So how do you just get by day after day?
I don't know. I don't want to think about it.
Just fuck it.
Fuck it.
But sometimes in the streets, it ain't about who's right or wrong, it's about what you can prove. And somehow, against all odds, Funny Mike finessed the system and slid out the back door clean. Now you're hearing all these and wondering why he's not in prison right now, despite all the evidence looking mad sketch. Johnson caught the biggest break of his life. In what shocked everybody, a grand jury decided not to indict him on the murder charges. This decision effectively meant the case wouldn't go to court, and Johnson was free to move forward with his life. He celebrated this outcome on Instagram, writing, "God is good. Second chance at life. Shout out to my team." Some have speculated about how Johnson managed to avoid indictment despite the evidence, including surveillance footage. But the details of the grand jury proceedings remain private. With the streets watching and the feds off his neck, Funny Mike knew he couldn't keep living on borrowed time. He had to reinvent himself before the next bullet or courtroom took him out for good. Following his legal troubles and the 22 Savage controversy, Johnson knew he needed to switch up his whole vibe. He eventually shelved the 22 Savage persona and fully embraced his new identity, Funny Mike. This wasn't actually a new wave, but rather a return to his comedic roots. Before the 22nd Savage character, he had already been building a following with comedy content, as 21 Savage explained in interviews. The comedy shit was working, so I guess he just went back to it.
Did you convince him to drop the whole 22 to Savage thing?
I think he did that on his own, really. I ain't never asked him to stop. But he DM'd me like back then and apologized though. Like way back then. Not on no pussy shit, like on some man shit. Yeah. He said some shit. He just stopped doing it. But he was a comedian before the 22 shit and it was working for him. Right. The comedy shit was working. Right. So I guess he just went back to it.
In 2016, he created his YouTube channel and began focusing on comedy skits, pranks, and lifestyle content. His authentic personality and humor resonated with audiences, and his channel grew rapidly. Johnson's content evolved over time, becoming more family-friendly as he himself matured and started a family. He began dating Jalea Monet, whom he met through social media, and the couple now have 2 children, a daughter named London, born in February 2019, and a son named MacArthur Johnson Jr., born in July 2020. Today, Funny Mike has built a straight-up media empire. His main YouTube channel is pushing over 6 million subscribers, and he runs additional channels including Funny Mike Gaming, Funny Mike Skits, and the MJ Family channel with his girl Jalea, which has over 3 million subscribers by itself. His content now is all about pranks, challenges, and family vlogs. A complete 180 from his days as 22
Savage. What DDT want to do is what Funny Mike doing with his kids.
He's estimated to be worth about 3 M's, all made legitimately through his social media hustle. That's according to Google, Google, but I think he's worth 10 times that, as he's acquired most of his wealth from crypto investments. A coin called Doge is what made him all these millions. Beyond YouTube, Johnson has kept dropping music under his Funny Mike persona with tracks like DD3X, Small Wee Wee, and Monsters on the
I got a small dick. Wait till it get hard.
Savage days. Johnson has also been giving back to the hood, organizing bike giveaways for kids in Baton Rouge who ain't got much, especially around Christmas time.
He put Slutty on, like he from Chicago.
For your city, noting that many children don't get nothing for Christmas because their family can't afford it. A key part of Johnson's story is his connection to another Baton Rouge rapper who blew up, NBA YoungBoy, Kentrell Deshaun Golden. These two came up in the same trenches of Baton Rouge, both trying to make it out by any means. YoungBoy has shouted out Funny Mike in his music, with bars suggesting people mistakenly thought Funny Mike was soft when he was really about that life.
All you do is whistle, stay in prison after Central Book. They really thought Funny Mike was pussy.
I thought he was pussy.
They really thought Funny Mike was pussy.
That nigga was a kid back then.
This co-sign from one of the hottest rappers in the game adds another layer to Johnson's complex story and street credibility. Funny Mike's journey from the trenches of Baton Rouge to YouTube stardom is a story of transformation, second chances, and reinvention, straight up. While his past includes catching a body and controversial beef, he finessed his way into building a successful career as an entertainer. Today, the man once charged with murder creates content that millions of families watch daily. He's a father, entrepreneur, and content creator who's apparently left his troubled past behind. He really beat the system and changed his life around. His story raises mad questions about redemption, the justice system, and how people can switch up their whole lives. It also highlights the unique opportunities that platforms like YouTube provide for renovation and reaching audiences directly without traditional gatekeepers. Love him or hate him, Funny Mike's story shows that no matter how deep in the game you might be, there's always a chance to flip the script and make something positive happen. From posting up on the corner to superstar content creator, that's the American dream in the digital age. Let us know down below. What do y'all think of Funny Mike's interesting story?
I ain't gonna lie, it's probably one of the best one we did when it talked about like someone's life and the come up and how they switched and everything. Really good documentary. You know, Funny Mike is one of the greatest, like AJ said, top 5 black creators of all time. Not even now, of all time, you feel me? And he's paving the way for a lot of upcoming black content creators. But great one. I remember when we was back in the day, we used to do like the little funny songs with AJ channel and shit, like Funny Mike songs.
Oh yeah, bro.
We used to do a lot of them on AJ channel, man. But make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, man. Watch.